Hello. This episode of Misfits on Vinyl, we end up talking about some mental health issues, and we talk heavily about self-harm, and I can't say it because of the algorithm, but ending oneself. We want you to know that coming into the episode. It doesn't start until about 40 minutes in that we're going to start on the artist who dealt with these issues, but we wanted to say that if there is anybody out there who is suffering from any sort of stress, trauma, struggles, anything, please find help. Please reach out to any helplines that you can, anybody around you who you think can help. And if you're ever wondering, there is always somebody there for you. There is always people who care about you. And there's a ton of free resources online that we will link below that you can find. Thank you. Misfits on Vinyl. Two best friends shooting the shit about their favorite shit. Shit, man. It's Misfits on Vinyl for me. Shitter.
The remix.
Swaghorn.
Metro Boomin', make it boom.
Bop. Okay. Hello and welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Streichert, and I am an actor, comedian, and one of your hosts.
My name is Aaron. I am an actor and comedian and also one of your hosts.
Aaron, you were not a comedian.
I'm funnier than you, bitch.
Oh, you fucking motherfucker. Of course you would start with that.
I wanted to throw you off.
Oh, that threw me off. I wasn't expecting it. That was a good misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a comedian.
Yeah. Well, speaking of my comedy, I had a JFL showcase last night. Fucking killed it. It was unbelievable.
Honestly, it was surprising. I was impressed with the amount of jokes that you were able to get away with in your JFL showcase. You were like pro-freedom convoy.
Yeah.
Talked about your experience in Ottawa.
I mean, I did go to Ottawa.
You did go to Ottawa?
I got on really well. I actually went because I like RVs. I thought it was an RV show. And I was like, oh, RVs and trucks? I was like, right up my alley.
In all fairness, I think half of the people there thought it was a monster truck rally.
Yeah, nice.
I think that was what they were going
I really
for.
I do go to bed to the sound of blaring horns. So it was oddly comforting being there, and I enjoyed my time.
Yeah, I feel like you know, people don't give it enough credit for how fucking funny that is.
Well, I just laugh because they're like interviewing people like, yeah, it's fucking driving me crazy. They're honking their horns 24 hours a day. I'm like, yeah, that would also drive me
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But why did nobody think of this before the rednecks?
Well, they were like, they're like, oh, guys, come on our side. Let me annoy the piss out of you for like 3 weeks straight.
It's literally like water torture.
Yeah.
Just like break away the person slowly.
They wouldn't even do that in Guantanamo Bay. They wouldn't fucking
Guantanamo?
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 Guantanamo? Shamano Bay? They wouldn't even let Harold and Kumar deal with that shit.
Dude, that is a fucking great movie.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I haven't either, but I just remember laughing my balls off.
I remember being in high school, and you like the marijuanas, and fucking you watch the White Castle, and we went to New York on a school trip, and I was like, we gotta go to White Castle. It was like one of the only things I wanted to do in the greatest city on earth is go to a fucking shitty restaurant.
How were the burgers?
Bad.
Yeah, I assumed.
So they were 69 cents a slider. I bought like a fuckload of them. Also, it was like a real sketchy ass White Castle. There was a lot of homeless people in there. I was very uncomfortable. And
Did you buy anyone food?
Yeah, well, I bought a bunch for myself, and I ate 2. And I was like, this is disgusting, and I just gave them away to the people in the White Castle.
Holy fuck. Dude, that's so funny. I remember when they came out with like the frozen ones that you could like heat up, and I remember those were gross. But I was also like, what would you expect from a frozen hamburger?
Okay, so you couldn't tell where like the meat began and like the bun ended. Like it was all, and the meat was gray.
It just melted into one.
Yeah,
fucking...
and then they used like McCain's crinkle cut fries.
Oh God!
And then which were also they were very soggy. Yeah, no, it wasn't a good experience.
Personally, I have a very controversial opinion. I hate French fries.
Oh, it really depends on the fry. I think
I'm not a big fry guy. I'll get an extra 3 burgers instead of a fry.
You become more unlikable every second. French fries, man, I like French fries. It depends on though. Like crinkle cut fries kind of suck. Anything that's like.
What about waffle cut?
No, I'm not a fan of the waffle. The smiley fries, though.
Smiley fries are fucking good,
Yeah,
I will say. But
but
I would say that's more of a tater tot.
I was gonna say, does that fall in the tater
I
category?
like tater tots.
Tater tots are okay.
I like the dippability of them.
Yeah.
And
I like just regular taters too. Like
I do
Mary
too.
Brown's, they're
'Kay.
pretty good.
This is a weird one.
Okay.
But somebody the other day, we got asked a question in rehearsal, and it was like, like one of the get to know you things. It's like, what's your favorite way of eating a potato, right?
Yeah.
I said baked. I like a good baked potato.
I do too.
I like a good baked
I
potato.
like it when it's twice baked.
And then somebody said that their partner likes to eat raw potatoes.
That is weird.
Yeah.
But I might one up you. Sarah's grandfather, he eats onions raw like an apple.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking gnarly.
like an apple. Like
That's metal as shit.
he'll fucking chew it like an apple, yeah.
Dude, okay, but like what type of onion? Are we
Like,
talking like red onion?
Red onion, white
yellow?
onion. I don't think he
Vidalias?
I don't think he discriminates. He just pops scallions one by one. Just like fucking no, he's a savage. Yeah, he eats onions raw like Shrek.
Dude,
Shrek does.
I always think about like there was a book that I had to read in like grade 5. I think it might have been Jacob Tutu.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I
that was a
remember,
TV show too.
Yeah, it was a TV show too. The animation in that was actually cool looking. But there was like one story where like the bad guy like fucking ate cloves of garlic raw, and I was like, I've done that.
Yeah, that's weird too.
I don't know how that's weird.
Raw garlic, not really my thing.
Okay, different controversial opinion. If you go out for dinner with people, and it's a large group, like 30 people, is it weird to order a beef dip?
Yeah, we talked about this. No, it's not weird to order a beef dip.
'Kay.
But I really I think I need more context because
'Kay.
ordering a beef dip, yes, it's not weird, but the way you probably ordered the beef dip, knowing you, could have been awfully strange.
It was not weird. I will say this. Okay, so
You'd be like, "Can I get the beef of the dippable variety,
No.
waiter?"
Although
Sir.
every time I do order like any type of Mexican food, I'm like, can I get some quesadillas, please?
Ugh.
Can I get some tacos?
Ugh.
Burritos.
Burger King, you're not even fucking close. That would drive me crazy.
Tequila.
Nachos? So nachos?
Nachos. Nachos library.
The way you say those things feels racist.
Well,
Yeah, you just had a million racist thoughts run through your mind, didn't you? Didn't you, Spencer? I saw them yeah, the pause is worse. You're like, how do I all the slurs for Latino people went through your mind. Latinx people, sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I honestly forgot what I was gonna say, and that's why that fucking pause.
It was like the start of a Star Wars movie. It all just scrolled right through your mind.
But like if it was
Once upon a time in Tijuana. It's true.
Okay,
It's true. I saw it.
So the beef dip.
Yes.
It was after. Okay, so friend of the show, Kaylee Reggett, her musical Home for the Holidays premiered. It was also her birthday, so like 30 people went out with her afterwards. Right? We went to OJ's. I was just there quickly. I had a show to get to, but I needed to eat. I hadn't fucking ate the whole day, so I was like, yeah, I'll get the beef dip. I ate the beef dip like pretty fucking quickly. I was hungry. I had a dip too, right?
Yeah. Nice.
I didn't think it was weird.
No.
After I left, Siobhan stayed, and everybody was talking about, man, I don't know how he had the confidence to eat a wet sandwich in front of us. I'd never eat a wet sandwich in front of us. And then I went to Kaylee's wedding, like a couple of weeks ago, and people who I did not know were referring to me as the beef dip guy.
See, I never even considered the moisture content of the sandwich. That didn't even cross my mind.
It's all that au jus.
No, I don't think that. It's like, oh no, here we go again. The au jus.
Au jus.
It's like I'm back at the trucker convoy.
Au jus. I mean, I will say this.
Yeah, we've stopped talking about Kanye.
I will say this. Au jus is quite rich.
Ooh, nice.
That was a clever one. I'm proud of that.
It is quite rich.
Okay, so we got to crack open our beers.
Yes, we sure do.
We got, from our official, non-official sponsor of the podcast, Cabin Brewing.
Caban.
We have Essay Living.
Easy Living, a Patters Beer Belgian Style Ale.
Das gut Bier, ja.
I am fucking hungover, so this will be really nice.
You're a hungover boy. What you get up to last night?
I went to a birthday party. My brother's in-laws throw lots of good parties.
Nice.
And it was Tiffany's uncle's birthday. So we just gambled and drank tequila, basically. Yeah, it was nice.
You know what I like about that is that it's your brother's in-laws, and you went.
Yeah, I hang out with them. I like them. They like me. Yeah,
really funny.
Yeah, we used to hang out all the time. Armando and Priscilla, they're lovely people.
Armando and Priscilla.
Yeah, lovely people.
Those are pretty cool names, honestly, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a very old school Italian guy.
Is she into Elvis?
Not really.
No?
I'm not that I'm aware of. I mean, just pretty Venezuelan. Everyone there was very Venezuelan.
No.
We had arepas, which was very good, and then they had a deep fried version of it. Which
wait, what did you have?
Arepas. It's like a type of I don't even know how to describe it without being culturally like I want to get it right, but it's like a type of dough. It's like a corn dough,
okay,
and they fry it, and then they put like cheese and meat in it, and it's fucking delicious.
Ooh.
But they took that. And then they deep fry it. So it's like something that was already fucking delicious got a million times better. So it was really good. Yeah. Not good for me, though, but very good. Very, very good.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
It has been
Cheers, Sam.
almost a month since we recorded.
Yeah, it's been a while. I guess we should get into it. We had a wonderful experience in Spencer's lobby about 3 weeks ago.
They were just hanging out in the lobby for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, for some reason, there wasn't like we had anything to do.
Yeah, it was like 9 in the morning. It was
this fucking dumbass cannot wake up ever for anything. He scheduled 2 interviews starting at 9 a.m., which isn't even that fucking early. Like me and Sam have regular jobs. That's like a normal like fucking. Yeah, it's like a normal. That's like a privilege to do something at 9 a.m. Fucking Spencer, fucking asleep, and we called him like 150 times, and he said his alarm was just going. He slept in like a good 50 minutes.
The people downstairs could hear my alarm going off.
Spencer's alarm was fucking going like crazy. So we stood in the lobby for half an hour and then we dipped. The only thing that I feel bad about is the guests, but like, whatever. That's life.
I feel worse for Forrest than I do Red.
Yeah.
Because I know Forrest sleeps until like noon probably.
Yeah,
so he like I feel worse for him. It was like 6 o'clock at night in England.
Yeah.
Like Red was awake.
He was just finishing his beef. What a callback, Aaron. Thanks,
man, good job.
But no, we were mad. I was mad for about 30 minutes, and then I forgave Spencer. Yeah,
in all fairness, in the very first clip that we ever released, we had determined I am the only person who has ever slept through a terrorist attack. So I don't know if it's that surprising, but I am still deeply ashamed, and I felt so fucking bad for like a week.
We were going to make you sweat it out for a bit, but then I felt bad.
I was legitimately like, oh God, they're going to do the podcast without me. They hate me now.
We were going to go radio silence, and then I couldn't do it.
Oh God. The messages that I was getting from Sam, because I was messaging the group, and Sam was just giving me like one-word answers, and I was like, oh no.
We had agreed to make you sweat it out because we were pretty pissed for a bit there.
And understandably so. I am really sorry about that.
It did have a positive outcome because I got to meet Sam's cats.
Nice.
That was really nice. They were lovely. And I had something I've never had before. It was like
a good time.
Well, I've had a good time before, but it was grapes covered. They were candied grapes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Was it like Jolly Ranchers? Yeah.
Like hard grape?
What do you mean?
Like hard grapes?
Like regular grapes.
Like
frozen grape that then you melt down Jolly Ranchers and roll it in the Jolly Rancher and then roll the like warm Jolly Ranchers in Nerds.
Wow.
And then when you pop it's like crunchy.
Yeah. And then to like even up it up another level, we had a Juicy Drop pop, We put Juicy Drop Pop on the candy crepes. And bear in mind, this is like fucking like 10 in the morning. We're eating these fucking candy crepes. And I honestly almost orgasmed in Sam's kitchen.
Holy
I was
shit.
this fucking close. It was so goddamn good.
Dude, I want to try that now.
Yeah, no, it was very good.
Also, before I forget about it, we got stickers.
Oh, we got stickers.
We got stickers. We got 200 of the little records. They're like really small. They're like about the size of my thumb. And then we got 2-inch by 2-inch ones of our new logo. So if you want a sticker, come to a show that I'm at because I always am bringing them. I handed out a fuck ton over the past like week at shows. Like I've been plugging it every single time I get off stage. And I hosted Tea House 2 weeks ago, and that was the day that they came in. And every single person that came through was like, I'll grab some stickers. So I got rid of like 50 stickers that night, which was fucking, pretty dope, honestly.
No, it's cool. We've been steadily growing. We're so close to our final goal of being famous. So
we're very close.
Yeah, we're very close.
We are up to around 100 listeners an episode.
Wow.
Which across all platforms, which is pretty fucking impressive, I have to say.
That, yeah.
I'm pretty happy about that. And we do have some cool things coming up in terms of guests. We've got some shit lined up. We are going to have Red and Faris on at some point.
Yes.
Because we did all the research for their episodes. We have them all done. We just have to get them on now.
Redemption episodes.
Yes. Red picked, I will say, the worst album that we have. And
it'll be a fun one.
It's going to be a fun one. Faris picked a great album.
Yes.
So I think that like the contrast between the two is going to be beautiful. Also, I guess we should probably explain, we're not doing an album review today. We are doing our second Rec-isode.
We're going to do a Rec-isode.
Because we want to shoot the shit. We want to talk about this stuff.
Just because we've been Spencer's been very busy. I've been busy. Sam's been busy. So we wanted to do something a little different. So we picked 2 albums today. 2 albums. We're going to start, I'm assuming, with the one that you chose since it's on the table.
We can start with the one that I chose. It's a shorter stuff. So research.
Well, the thing with me is I like to write a lot for our episodes. Yeah. All the episodes that I write tend to run long.
But I will say this: it's nice because I feel like I learn a lot, and I feel like here's the thing: if our episode is short, I feel like people learn just as much as if it's long. They just retain, like, I'm talking like per capita, like they probably retain about the same amount.
How official.
Yeah.
Did you research this?
I did. I've done extensive studies with our listeners, especially all of our fans in Sri Lanka.
Ooh, we have fans in Sri Lanka now.
We have fans in Sri Lanka now.
And Chile.
We are still the #1 English-speaking music history podcast in Chile.
One correction. Canadian.
No, English-speaking.
I thought there was a Canadian caveat to that.
No, there's no Canadian caveat to that. But in Canada, we are in the top 20 on Apple podcast charts. So be sure to make sure that you review us and give us likes and stuff, because that actually, I found out it's not just listens, it is like actively getting reviews that helps with boosting you in the charts.
Interesting.
So if you like us, remove your review, refresh your iTunes, and then give us 5 stars again.
And if you don't like us, still leave a review.
Yeah. Tell us that we suck.
I would actually prefer it that way.
I would also, because I feel like I need to be humbled frequently, and I don't get it enough with the hatred I get from everyone around me. So, okay, so the first album that we are going to be recommending this week is Matt Anderson's House to House. This is a really interesting album. It's the first blues album that we've done on the pod. But it's got gospel elements to it, which I think is really interesting and well done. It's his 9th studio album, but his first solo acoustic album.
Nice.
It was released March 4th of 2022 through Sonic Records. It was produced by him, and it was engineered by singer-songwriter Chris Kirby, who also goes on tour with him and like plays guitar and stuff. He's won a bunch of East Coast Music Awards. Co-writers on this album, though, this is insane. They had Tara Lightfoot, Dave Gunning, Gordy Sampson, Brega Isabel, Tom Wilson, Clayton Bellamy, and Colin Linden. These are all like some of the best songwriters in Canada.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's definitely some Canadian names going out there. Gordy, Lightfoot.
Yeah.
It's very Canadian.
And so it's crazy that he got all of these people together, while also including some some covers of old songs. Mahalia Smith does some vocals on the record. She does some backing vocals. She was also with him at Folkfest when he headlined the main stage there. And she's previously worked with Joe Plaskett, who, I mean, I'm pretty sure in Canada we know because he has a bunch of radio hits. He's, indie singer-songwriter. It was mixed by Juno nominee and 8-time East Coast Music Award winner Corey Tetford. And it was mastered by Grammy nominee Kim Rosen, who also mastered the previous Bonnie Raitt album that just won
at the
Grammys.
That's cool.
So she like the people that were behind the scenes on this album, pretty fucking primo. Okay, so we're gonna get into about Matt Anderson. I almost said Matt Smith. That's an actor. That's not who we're
Doctor
talking
Who.
about. Doctor Who and fucking the Targaryen.
Yeah.
Daemon Targaryen. House of the Dragons is not as good as Game of Thrones. Okay, but the Jon Snow sequel series is excellent.
Jon Snow takes New York. It's actually a mix between Game of Thrones and Elf. Hints of Sopranos.
And then fucking Jon Snow X, and it's him on a spaceship.
And there's also a little, like, not to spoil anything.
Jon Snow goes to hell.
There's a little bit of what is it? SVU, Special Victims Unit, mixed in there as well.
Jesus
but
Christ.
we're not gonna spoil anything. But
very, very Game of Thrones of them.
it's very Game of Thrones-esque. So just wait. But there's now where it's in modern times, so you can't go around raping and pillaging.
That's true. Well, it depends.
Yeah, it depends where you live, I guess.
If you're a comedian in Los Angeles, you certainly can.
But all the pillaging is done through Instagram DMs with minors.
I believe that's called sniping.
Yeah.
It's okay. He's not funny. I wouldn't open for him anyways.
You'd open for Bill Cosby, though. Anyways,
I would not.
Back.
It was hypothetical.
Matt
Anderson
from Nova Scotia, right?
Matt Anderson. He's actually from New Brunswick.
Oh, close
He
enough.
was born in Perth and Andover. Okay, wait. Did you say close enough?
Yeah, they're like right next to each other.
Newfoundland and Prince Edward Island. They're like the same.
No, I never said. I said in theory. I'm not wrong. Close enough. They literally are border provinces.
Yeah, but Greenland is also close enough.
Not really. Like you could literally drive from Nova Scotia to New Brunswick.
Yeah, but you could also take like a 5-hour boat ride to get to Greenland.
Okay, that's not the same thing. You could step over the border of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia with your feet.
Yeah, but you could technically do that with Prince Edward Island too.
I don't know. I looked at his Wikipedia page. I thought he said he was from Nova Scotia.
New Brunswick. New Brunswick.
Close enough.
His musical. Okay. His musical career began in 2002 with the New Brunswick band Flat Top.
Nice.
He headlines everywhere from clubs, theaters, and festivals, and he also tours with some really big Canadian like heavy hitters: April Wine, Randy Bachman, and Greg Allman.
Nice.
In 2009, this is something really interesting that I found. He played in over 200 live performances, including his 4th UK tour, and he won 2 East Coast Music Association awards, Male Solo Artist of the Year and Blues Recording of the Year for Something in Between. He also performed on several of Stuart McLean's Vinyl Cafe shows. Rest in peace, Stuart McLean, Canadian comedy goat. And then in 2010, he won the top prize for duo or individual in the Memphis, Tennessee International Blues Challenge, beating out artists from 11 other countries and 5 continents. He was the first Canadian to win the event in its 26-year history.
Wow.
Now, a part of what he won with this was headlining festival gigs in America, France, and Italy, a slot in the legendary Rhythm and Blues Cruises, and a cash award, which I could not find what the actual cash award back then was. And then more honors came in 2011 as he was named the Maple Blues Awards Entertainer of the Year and Acoustic Act of the Year.
Nice.
So interesting that this album is his first acoustic album, but he won Acoustic Act of the Year.
Maybe he was doing acoustic shows.
Maybe?
I don't know. I'm familiar briefly with him. I think I've seen him on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the first time actually listening to his music for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. His one that went really viral was his "I'm on Fire" cover. Yeah. And that one, it's got like 6 million views on YouTube. And it's not good quality video, but he sounds fucking great.
I mean, he has a really killer voice.
He has such a killer voice. Okay, so 2 more things. In 2014, his album Weightless was a Juno Award nominee for Roots and Traditional Album of the Year. He has amassed over 18 million streams on Spotify and well over 26 million views on YouTube. Now, last year at Folk Fest, this is like maybe the coolest story that I have with Folk Fest.
I'm ready.
So I went because Kevin Morby, who's one of my favorites, was on the main stage, and Spoon was also on the main stage. So I was like, okay, like I'll go on the Saturday. It's a good time to go, right? And then I went and watched a workshop because at Folk Fest they'll do like workshops where they'll get like 6 or 7 songwriters. They'll all sit there. They'll each do 2 songs. They like rotate through everyone, and everybody else joins in, and it's kind of a cool jam session, right? So Matt Anderson was a part of that, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy's good. And then I heard that his solo show had already happened, and I was like, damn it. So I was so bummed about it, right? Yeah. But I loved his shit so much that I went over to the merch tent and bought this record right away because I was like, I want to listen to more of this dude. He was doing a signing, so I ripped off the plastic, got him to sign it. He's a super nice guy, like very, very kind. And then the next day, I ended up getting tickets last minute because as I was walking up and I was going to buy tickets at the gate, somebody was leaving, and they handed me the bracelet, and they were like, yeah, Courtney Barnett canceled, and she was supposed to be the headliner that day, so a fuck ton of people were leaving. So we go in. Siobhan's bummed because Courtney Barnett was like the whole reason she wanted to go to Folk Fest. And then they announced that Matt Anderson was going to be the headliner. So he was going to be closing out the whole weekend.
Nice.
He gets on stage. Mahalia is doing backing vocals for him. He brings out Trey Brew for a song. It's fucking incredible. He just sits there on stage with the electric guitar, does his whole album, absolutely annihilates.
Nice.
I've never seen the Folk Fest crowd that engaged and captivated by anybody.
That's cool.
It was so fucking cool.
Nice.
So 10 out of 10 for him for like
way to go,
for
Matt.
that.
Way to go for stepping up.
For stepping up. And like and honestly, it made my weekend so much better because I was like, I got to see him do his solo show.
There you go. See, I have a similar Folk Fest story where I got given a bracelet as well, and I got to go in, and that's where I first heard the Bahamas. And I saw Passenger, and I saw Always. Yeah, so it was pretty good.
Fucking good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah.
All right, now we're just going to get into the reception, and then we're going to move on to the second album.
Woo!
All right, so reception. Steve Horowitz of Pop Matters gave it a 7 out of 10 and said, House to House seems a modest affair. It doesn't seem ambitious as much as the product of a talented musician who just wants to express what's in his heart and mind during these difficult times. And it's the true root of blues and successfully executed here. John Apiece of American Highways said, even on slow ballads like Let Me Hold You with a slightly different tonality, Matt maintains a semblance of quiet strength. Usually Anderson's in a blues fast lane, but here he shows another side of his creative endeavors. His ability to interpret lyrics and intimacy and music poignancy is the embodiment of his artistic qualities. And then I just have 2 more here. Tinnitus named it Album of the Week upon its release. No Depression said Matt Anderson has drawn from the best roots music and has to offer over his decades-long career, down and dirty blues, heart-wrenching soul, life-affirming gospel, and introspective songwriting balladry. And Folk Radio UK said, ultimately, what you have here is the classic acoustic blues template alive and kicking because the source comes from a fundamentally real and dark place.
See, I was listening to it on the way over, and me and Sam had a good conversation about it. He's got a really great voice. There's some good songs on the album. For me, though, in all honesty, it was a little one-dimensional. But I see the value in just his voice. Itself. Like, that's really the calling card, is he's got this incredible voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could watch him sing the phone book.
Well, you can watch him sing the phone book.
Sing the phone book.
Yes. He's got one of those voices, lots of runs and...
Aaron, 1 4 3 3 7 9.
I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. I know we don't really rate these ones, but
fucking calm down with the 6.5 out of 10 on this one.
Why?
No, because
I just gave an honest opinion, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. There, it's an 8 out of 10 now. It's an 8 out of 10 on the fucking album. No, I do agree with you. Like, it is very much like I would say, like, and the first review definitely touched on that, where it's like there's nothing really here that's like game changing.
No, not every album has to be, but he executes it very well.
He does execute it well. And it is very interesting to I will say, like I'm excited because he's coming back here in April. I'm going to see him at the Jube, and like I'm excited because like he's one of, and I actually think what sets him apart from City and Color is that his music live in the Jube, I think, will actually be good.
Be better, yeah. Well, I would say, just from listening to him, he'd be great to see live, no doubt. I think he's got the chops to do it live, and he's got a very powerful voice that would probably make your hair stand up on your sack when you see him live.
The one thing I will say is that when it got to what song was it? People Get Ready. When he did that at Folk Fest. That was his last song. And you know how there's a chant section part of it at the end? That part went on way too fucking long.
Yeah.
It was like, people get ready.
Oh, yeah.
People get ready.
Oh, get ready.
People get ready.
Oh, people now.
People get ready.
Oh, now.
People get ready. People,
I know, I understand.
Get ready.
I get it.
People, get ready.
People get ready.
People, get ready.
Anyways, that was very nice, Spencer. House to House, Matt Anderson from New Brunswick.
That was honestly what it was like. People stopped chanting along and it kept going.
Yeah. I got what you were doing there. It was very, I got it.
It was meta.
Yeah, it was meta.
It was very meta.
I was in the moment.
Metaphysical.
Nice.
Like my titties. Okay.
Nice.
All right, and the second album on our Rec-isode, this is one that we both know and love. I'm excited to talk about it. It is Pink Moon by Nick Drake.
Nick Drake, Pink Moon.
Nick Drake, Pink Moon.
Moon.
Pink Moon is the third and final studio album by English musician Nick Drake. It was released in the UK by Island Records on the 25th of February, 1972. So yesterday, it was 51 years ago.
Yeah. There you go.
That's fucking crazy.
There you go.
Okay, so it's a singer, like folk singer-songwriter album.
Yep.
It was the only one of Drake's album to be released in North America during his lifetime, which is crazy to me because his second album, the one that has Northern Skies on it, that song is super popular over here.
And that got popular over time. There's this is a similar thing we had with a couple artists. Obviously, he didn't live very long. He had a short life, and he did not really see any success in his lifetime. So none of his albums sold more than 5,000 copies when he was alive.
Wow.
And like his first two albums sold less than 3,000 copies. And so he never really had any sort of critical acclaim or, any sort of financial benefit to doing these albums. And we get into it when we talk about it in his life, but he died thinking he failed as a musician. Yeah, which is crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's really sad, actually.
That's super fucking sad.
Yeah.
It was released 2 years before his death in November of 1974, and he died at the age of 26. The lyrical content of Pick Noon has often been attributed to his ongoing battle with depression. So what's fucking super crazy is that he's in a similar vein to Mac Miller, like 26, depression, fucking like a lot could have been done because I feel like both of them were really finding their fucking stride at the time that they ended up passing away. The songs are shorter than on his previous albums, with a total running time of just over 28 minutes. So, still longer than my first 2 comedy albums.
There you go. Sorry. No, nothing important. My phone was just beeping off like a maniac. I thought it was something serious. I apologize.
No, it was just an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
Fucking Amber needs to quit texting.
Yeah, I know. I know. Fucking put a GPS tracker on her. Jesus.
I wish people would really quit using this technology to talk about their fucking dogs, okay? All right. Pink Moon, like Drake's previous studio albums, did not sell well, like we talked about, and its stripped-back, intimate sound received a mixed response from critics. However, the album has since garnered significant critical acclaim over time. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think, because we have this question oftentimes when it comes to musicians that pass away, or artists, do you think that it gained significance acclaim over time because his music got more popular and then people saw the significance of it, or is it because, like, the romanticizing idea of his lyrical content?
I'd say it's a bit of both, but he's a bit of a different than some of the other artists because he was like very mysterious. There's no actually recorded footage of Nick Drake as an adult.
Really?
Yeah, there's one interview, like no live recordings or anything like that. He kept very much so to himself. So he has this little, which I talk about about his life a bit too, but he's kind of this mysterious figure as well. And I think one thing with this album I find interesting, even it's a little different than his other stuff, it sounds like a modern folk album. So I think with time it also probably aged much better than some of the other folk music at the time.
Well, and it's funny because you're right. It doesn't sound like something that came out in the 70s.
No,
like obviously you can hear some of the based on what they were recording with, you can kind of date it. But in terms of tonally,
the tone of his voice, and the style
also
of
the
guitar
way that he
playing,
sings, the way that he sings and what he inflects is so different than anything else that was happening at the time.
Yeah, so this is when I actually discovered Nick Drake. I had it was one of those like Spotify discovery playlists, and it was, I can't remember what song came on the playlist, but I started listening to it. It was off of Pink Moon, and I started listening to it, and I was like, oh, like this is like I wonder if this guy's like if he's got other albums he's making. So I went and looked at his thing. It's like fucking 1972. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I thought it was a modern singer. Honestly, thought it was a modern singer because it was paired up with like Bon Iver shit and whatnot, like all like modern singers. So yeah, I was really
which is
shocked.
super funny because he had an influence on a lot of the singers who we both love. You know,
well, and he. I touch on it later on too, but we don't go out of order. It doesn't really matter. But he's been noted as influencing a lot of the big artists in the 80s. So Kate Bush took influence from Nick Drake, REM, The Cure. There's a bunch of other
it's funny because I can definitely notice it with The Cure because of and REM as well with their cadence with their singing. Specifically that Kate Bush, I can definitely see it in the songwriting.
The Black Crowes is another one as well that took a lot of inspiration from Nick Drake. So I think it's a...
What about the White Ravens?
I don't know. It's always black and white with you, isn't it?
No, sometimes it's blue pigeons. Sometimes it's a red thrush, okay?
Anywho.
Have you ever seen a purple swallow?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Bernie sucks good. Sorry, I apologize. It was just like it was on a tee there, and I had to hit.
That was so good. That was really good.
Anyways, so I think
that was a golden eagle.
To answer your question, I think he's a bit of a more of a unique case. I talked about this recently actually with one of my coworkers too. I don't think it can be black and white with any artist that dies early. I think it's a bit of both. Because it all seems that the ones that have died early have had a significant impact. In most cases, they've had some sort of impact on the music genre. I think modern times is a little different because a lot of now it's a lot of hip hop artists die young.
Yeah.
And it really depends on what they're doing, whether or not they're really changing the game or not. I think a lot of hip hop artists gain a lot of clout when they do pass away. Their music gets listened to way more. They start to, more now than ever that people are releasing unfinished songs posthumously.
And I think too, there's something about specifically we're seeing it with the trap rap and the SoundCloud rapper type thing where it's I've been digging deep into it lately. I've been trying to get into it so that we can review some SoundCloud rappers and trap rappers.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're a fan of a lot of that music, but what I've noticed is that the trend seems to be one really big song.
Yep.
And then steady decline for the next 3 songs or their album, whichever one they do, and then it's died. You know what I mean?
I think it really depends. I think there's a couple of the artists that have had, did do some things that are a bit differently. I really like Pop Smoke, and Pop Smoke only had one album out, and he passed away fucking 21 years old, and he was doing something a little different. Triple X is another one. Not everyone loves XXXTentacion because he kind of was a piece of shit. But he was doing the emo rap thing. There was him and Lil Peep that were doing it better than anybody else at the time. But we could save this for a trap rap episode. Yeah, Trapisode.
Trapezoid.
But I think that, like I said, to answer your question, I don't think it's black and white for any artist. I think he certainly gained recognition on the quality of his music over time, but I'd say him dying the way he died and the mysterious nature of his life as a whole probably adds to his, this character of him.
Yeah.
The fact that you only really get to know the artist through the songs itself, it probably adds quite a bit to his credentials.
Absolutely. Okay, so he sought out sound engineer John Wood to produce the album, who is best known for his work with Fairport Convention, John Martin, Cat Stevens or Yusef Stevens, and Pink Floyd and Nico. Now, what's really cool about that is I'm a pretty big Cat Stevens fan.
Yeah.
I got T for the Tillerman on vinyl.
Nice.
Fucking love that. Love Pink Floyd. It's interesting because Pink Floyd is funny because I can definitely understand where the engineering is the same in T for the Tillerman and this album, but Pink Floyd really blew me away.
Yeah, it's a bit of a curveball. So he had actually engineered his first 2 albums as well, but Nick wanted to just work with him alone on this album because it was his other first 2 albums were produced by Joe Boyd, who had discovered him. So this was strictly him and it was named John Wood. Yeah, him and John Wood did this, just the 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it might be the next point. They recorded it in 2 nights.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, with the studio being fully booked during the day, Drake and Wood arrived at the studio around 11 p.m. And simply and quietly recorded half the songs. The next night, they did the same in only 2 night sessions. With just his voice and acoustic guitar, he created what is considered by many to be one of the most influential folk albums of all time.
Yeah.
Which, I have to say, that's one of the things that I think I respect about this album, and one of the reasons why I like it. A lot of the albums that I like are stripped down, and it's simple, and it's fucking, let's just get into it. It's funny because I picked this album because of the fact that you picked I picked House to House because of this, because they share a similarity in that it is recorded in one fucking take. It's and something that I really respect about singer and songwriters that do that is you can actually hear how they are as a performer, not as a musician.
Which to Matt Anderson's credit, not a lot of artists do that anymore. Everything is, even the most popular folk and indie albums are all so touched with everything is edited, and
dude, even our favorites, fucking Bibio Bon Iver, it's all fucking heavily
some of it
produced.
is done for effect, but if you were trying to make a strict acoustic album nowadays, it'd still be touched up and edited, and not everybody can do that the way they used to do it, record music, right?
I wonder if this is a really big question.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, because Coulter Wall is somebody who like sounds like it's like an in the room thing. I wonder what his recording process is like.
I'd say he probably doesn't fuck around. I'd say
Yeah.
he's the same way, man. Because like even like listening to him do like the Blacktop sessions for Original 16 or
Yeah.
whatever, he's pretty killer live. It doesn't. There's no difference between that and his albums.
Absolutely
Like,
not.
yeah,
It's
so-
fucking incredible.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna jump back into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so Keith Morris was commissioned to photograph Drake for the cover of Pink Moon. Why would they get Drake?
Oh no, hilarious. Nick Drake.
However, the photos were not used as because of his rapidly deteriorating appearance, hunched over finger, and blank expression. Were not considered good selling points.
Yeah, it's like you look too fucking disheveled and depressed. So they picked that fucking wicked abstract piece of art that
Yeah.
they have. It's fucking really cool.
By Michael Chereschik.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Salvador Dali-esque art.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty.
Salvador
There's
Dali.
like a tooth on it and a bunch of other shit going on. And the actual artist that they picked the painting from is really good friends with Nick's sister, who was actually an actress.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she was an actress on a bunch of soap operas in the 70s and 80s in the UK, and she did a bunch of, I forget her name, but she did a bunch of TV as well, so she was a pretty successful actress.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that was
That's
her
a cool
friend.
little crossover
Yeah.
between us and them.
Yeah, no, there you go.
Because we're also successful actors.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're in the Jon Snow sequel series.
I've retired.
Okay, well, I don't think that you're retired. I think that you're just in between gigs right now.
Nah, nice, yeah. For
That's a good
the
way
past
of
couple
putting
of
it.
years.
Uh,
I haven't been actively searching either.
Okay, so although he was not outspoken in his opinion on the cover of Pink Moon, many close to him felt that he approved of the album cover. Now, about Nick Drake. Born June 19th, 1948 in Burma, he moved to England shortly after in the 50s, spending his youth playing sports.
Yeah, rugby
Playing-
and track.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty crazy. Playing piano, clarinet, and saxophone in the orchestra.
Here, one thing to touch, I didn't put it in there, is his dad was like some sort of civil engineer working for one of the UK overseas companies, and his
I
mom,
prefer those to uncivil engineers.
Yeah, fair enough. His mom was a pianist.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there was a lot of value in art and
I
stuff.
am also a pianist.
Nice in their family. So that's my point. Continue on.
Okay, so he began smoking cannabis, marijuana, hashish,
Yes.
the reefer,
Yes.
the devil's lettuce,
Yes.
the green,
I prefer the electric lettuce.
the pot,
Yes.
the ganja,
Your nose is like fucking really all over the
the
microphone.
hoochie coochie,
Yes.
and turn yourself around.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Sure is.
Okay. So he began experimenting with psychedelics and smoking weed in university. While briefly living in France, he traveled with friends to Morocco, searching for the best pot.
Yeah. This is just a fun little fact I had to put
Wow.
in there. Yeah, it was mentioned by his buddy he went traveling with. He's like, yeah, we went to Morocco because we heard they had the best pot there. So he's like, okay,
What
nice.
a strange place to
Yeah.
think the best pot would be.
The hash. It kind of makes sense. Hash is a Middle Eastern thing. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but okay.
Northern
but Morocco's in
Africa. I know,
Africa.
but like Northern Africa, Middle East, they all smoke a lot of hash.
It
Yeah.
derives from there.
Yeah.
Like that's where
Really?
weed kind of in the, I don't know if they have an exact area, but I know it's like northern Africa is where weed is from.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was looking for the best Kush.
It's weird that he wouldn't go to like Namibia or the Congo or Ethiopia
Nice.
or Zimbabwe
Nice.
or Somalia
Nice.
or Sudan
Nice.
or Kenya
Nice.
or South Africa
Nice.
or Egypt
Nice.
or Liberia
Chad.
or Chad or
Yeah.
Ghana
Yeah.
or Nigeria
Yeah. I think I don't know if you said Nigeria yet.
or
Swaziland.
Swaziland,
Zimbabwe.
Botswana,
Botswana. Cote d'Ivoire.
Niger.
Nice. Okay, I'm done. Anyways, he was also a heavy smoker for most of his life.
Nice.
He smoked a lot of pot. So much pot, yeah, that like his friends said it was an ungodly amount of pot he used to smoke. Like it was concerning the amount of pot he used to smoke. Enough to mention it. Like
It's sad that
40
he
years
did not
later.
live in a time where he could have experienced shatter.
Yeah, no, he yeah. yeah, maybe you know, someone could have warned him. Like, if I go back in time, I'll just be like, Nick, like, just wait, bro. The weed gets so much better. Yeah, and maybe he would have lived. You never know.
It even gets legal in a lot of places.
Uh-huh.
You'll be able to smoke till your heart's content, which he needed to have a content heart.
But it makes sense why he was smoking so much weed, because he lived in the UK and they have dirt weed. So it does make sense why he had to smoke large quantities.
Honestly, still in the UK.
Well, yeah, like even now, I can't imagine in fucking 1970s.
See, like Siobhan and I were thinking about moving to the UK, right? And one of the things that, like, it's not even that I'm a big weed smoker, but I'm like, I like to smoke like once a month, you know?
Yeah.
I like to like go to the store, get a fucking vape pen and be like, all right, cool, this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to watch a few shitty movies.
Yeah.
I am kind of sad how few countries weed is legal in. Because it's like, that limits where I can enjoy myself.
But you'll be fine. You'll live. They still have weed over there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just don't like breaking rules.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't. I literally hate breaking rules. Honest to God, once weed became legal, it took me a long fucking time to stop being anxious about smoking weed because I honestly was so worried that I was breaking the law every time.
No, never bothered me.
See, it's so weird. It bothered me all the time. Dude, when we lived in Toronto, if we would smoke on the back deck, I'd be so fucking paranoid.
I know you used to
I'd
get
be
freaked
so
out. Yeah,
fucking
no,
paranoid.
I could give less of a fuck.
I hate the thought of getting in trouble. It scares me more than anything. Actually, death scares me more than anything.
Yeah, fair
but,
enough.
You know, getting
Fair
in trouble
enough.
is a close second.
Fair enough.
Okay, so he was discovered while playing small gigs in and around Cambridge University, where he studied English, by Ashley Hutchings, bassist for the band Fairport Convention. Hutchings introduced him to American producer Joe Boyd, who was the owner of the production and management company Witch Season Productions, which at the time was licensed to Island Records. And Boyd took a liking to Nick, and after hearing a second recorded demo, offered him a record contract. So Nick was like, fuck it, I'm dropping out of college.
Yep.
Gonna go pursue this music full time. Me and him can relate on that.
Yeah.
I also dropped out of university to pursue music full time.
Nice.
He released 2 albums in the following years to limited success, 5 Leaves Left, and Brighter Later. Brighter Later is probably my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that album. He scarcely did interviews or press, as we've mentioned, so he was kind of a mystery, and there's only footage of him from his childhood. Leading up to Pink Moon's recording and after its release, his mental health deteriorated significantly. He was suffering from nervous breakdowns and being hospitalized. His mental health declined, and his physical appearance also declined, often looking unkempt and disheveled. He was noted as being unrecognizable when he dropped off the master recordings for Pink Moon at Island Records.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a bit of a myth too with Nick Cave in this album that he like dropped it off and the master recordings in a paper bag and left it at reception and he pieced. Apparently that's not true. That's just like a folk tale that he did. He actually went and delivered.
So you're saying it's folklore?
Yeah, yes, it's folklore. So he
Evermore. Midnights.
I'm turning red. Anyways,
You do when sparks fly.
yeah,
That was fearless.
yeah, that was very
Go back to 1989.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm
Well
ruining my reputation.
done.
I am a lover.
You know way more Taylor Swift than I do.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Anyways,
Sound of the Seasons, the holiday collection.
Graduation. Late registration.
Nick Drake. He. Anyways, this tale, yeah, like he
Headlines.
supposedly he dropped off.
Hotline Bling.
I'm gonna fucking murder you. Anyways.
God's plan.
Yeah.
Can you wait until March 14th? It's okay. We started from the bottom. Now we're here. Take care.
Yeah. Degrassi.
Degrassi.
Degrassi. The next generation.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Netflix.
Netflix.
Blockbuster. Attack on the Block. Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie.
Hot Fuzz. Simon Pegg.
Pegging.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Ray. Moon. Pink Moon. Nick Drake.
Oh, well done.
Oh, man.
Well done.
Full circle.
Well
Everything's connected. After the breakdown, he was prescribed a large amount of antidepressants and moved back into his parents' house. He's quoted in a letter describing how he felt at the time. I don't like it at home. I can't stand it anywhere else. He'd disappear from his parents' house and arrive unexpectedly at friends' places to crash for a few days, only to disappear again.
Yeah, which is like kind of a dick move.
No, that is a dick move.
Yeah, I'd be like, he'd just show up. He'd leave his parents' house, show up to yours, and be like, oh, can I like crash on your couch? Supposedly he wouldn't really say much either. He'd just like fucking smoke.
Oh, that's
and
a fucking...
hang on the couch, and then he'd just fucking disappear again.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know what's funny though is like I kind of used to just dip from places, and people would be like, "Where did Spencer go?" And people would be like, "Dude, where were you?" I was like, "Oh, I went home." I would Irish goodbye, but I wouldn't say goodbye to anybody.
That is the Irish goodbye.
I know, but like usually you say like to one person that you're leaving so that people know that you're going, and I just didn't.
You just disappear. Yeah. Anyways.
During the early hours of November 25th, 1974, Nick Drake died at his home from an overdose of...
Don't have to attempt it. It's just an antidepressant.
Amitriptyline?
Yeah.
What the...
Do you take amitriptyline?
No, I just... He overdosed from an antidepressant.
Yeah.
Because he was depressed.
Yeah.
And he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
So he took too much happy.
Yeah.
And died.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, he overdosed on the fucking antidepressant. Yeah.
Wow. So according to his father, Rodney Drake, Nick's body was first discovered by their housemate.
He's rich, by the way. Yeah.
What did he have to be depressed about?
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
I know that's not how it works. I'm trying to make a point.
He felt like a failure as a musician, and then he had, chemical imbalances in his brain.
No, I totally get that, and I was just trying to make a joke. Everyone. I get that. Look, I'm on antidepressants right now, and my life is going fucking awful. So I understand. Like, no, mine.
Unlike his suicide attempt, your joke was unsuccessful.
You're killing like Nick did.
This is in fact very sad.
This is sad. The coroner concluded that the cause of death was suicide.
Yeah.
And although the verdict has been disputed by some of his friends and members of his family, there is widely held view that, accidental or not, Drake had at that point given up on life.
Yeah.
There was no suicide note. Okay, that I actually have a problem with, and I have to say this because like. No. But like, I'm saying this as somebody who has attempted suicide. Sorry, this is getting dark. We're gonna add a stinger at the start of the episode.
Probably have to now. Yeah.
We fucking talk about some dark shit. But okay, I have attempted suicide multiple times. Obviously unsuccessful. Thankful for that. Every time though, I wrote a note.
Yeah.
The reason is because I was like, even though I feel like I would be better off not existing right now, I know that the people closest to me are going to have so many questions. Yeah. And I didn't want anybody to have any questions or to blame themselves or think about like what could have been or anything like that, right?
That makes sense. There with him specifically, there is the idea that it could have been accidental as well. That's like something that was touched on. Yeah, it could have been an accident.
And the other thing is too, and I will say, if it was an accident, it would make sense because like I have at times forgotten my medication, like forgotten to take my medication, and this is one of the things that happens when you're on antidepressants. Sometimes you forget that you've already taken your medication, so you sometimes double or triple up by accident. Yeah. So imagine he's smoking a fuck ton of pot. And he also is, dealing with that shit, right?
Yeah.
And then forgets to take it. I could easily see that, especially because back then the drugs far less safeguards, far higher potency in terms of milligrams.
Yeah.
And so it would be super easy to overdose.
Yeah, like whether or not it was an accident or not, I think I put that quote in from his dad. Well, not from his dad, but just from his friends all saying that, yeah, like even though it could have been an accident or not, he had very clearly given up on life.
Yeah.
Like he had lost his ambition to play music. He had no real interest in hanging around with his friends or having meaningful relationships with anybody. He was just wasting his days away. So at the end of the day, accident or not, it's still, he was not in a good place. Yeah.
Now, apart from not having a suicide note, there was a letter addressed to
This is
Sophie
the interesting
Ride.
part. Yeah.
On his nightstand, Ride has been described by Drake's biographer as the nearest thing to a girlfriend in his life, who a week prior to his death had cut ties with Nick, stating she needed space and could not cope with the relationship any longer.
So she didn't view them having any sort of romantic. She's been quoted saying that there was nothing romantic going on, and there's no real evidence that like Nick ever really engaged in any romantic relationships with anybody. But this was, they met in like 1968 in London, and they had been friends for X amount of years. But yeah, the week prior to his death, she was like, no, I can't deal with you anymore. Like,
wow.
Like, which I mean, by the sounds of it, he was one of those types of people that was so depressed that it probably sucked away from a lot of people around him.
And
like,
toxic for everyone around at the same time. Okay, so his career began at 19 and ended at 26 with his death. Although being shy, he made many friends throughout his life, but similarly, they all felt distant from him. He's remaining mysterious with them. His friends recounted not fully knowing him. That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, and the weirdest part about the whole thing is at his funeral, many of his friends met for the first time. His parents like met a bunch of new people they'd never even heard of before.
Wow.
They said there was like 50 or 60 people there that were like they never recognized or never knew.
Sam farted again.
Yeah, Sam at it again. Sam at it again.
That
Metro
was just
Boomin, make it
snowfall
boom.
on the roof. I lick it boom boom now.
But
Sam is farting and he's sitting on the case. That is what he's doing.
make it boom boom now.
In farter.
In Fata, Sam's cheeks are potter. He farts.
He farts a lot now. His asshole kind of goes like this. It goes toot 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 toot.
Toot, 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 toot. Sam ate all the
Sam the
beans in the
farter.
cupboard. He ate all the beans.
Sam farter.
This is why I like the podcast. We can go from having a deep conversation about suicide to laughing at Sam farting.
Oh, fucking hell.
God bless. God bless.
I think that's why the people that listen to us, I've had multiple people come up to me and say that they listen to us because they have ADHD and we fit them so well. And I was like, I feel so good about that.
Yeah.
Should all of our video podcasts now have like Subway Surfer playing?
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Guy clip as well.
Or like the fucking GTA car racing cars.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fucking Mike.
Everything's falling apart here.
I
It's all going
know.
to shit ever since Sam farted.
I know.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Okay,
But yeah, rest in peace, Nick Drake. It's a sad life. We
R.I.P..
make some jokes here and there, but I mean, it is a sad existence. What
No, it
happened
is
to
super
him.
sad, and like,
Yeah.
and I mean, like I said, we have the stinger at the start for a reason.
And we do joke often to
Yeah.
because it's our way of coping with difficult topics because it's not always easy talking about these things.
And like, I'll be honest too, like the way that I deal with literally everything is through humor.
Yeah.
Like that's, and I going back to comedy for a second, and like my process with that, like I have jokes about my mental health. I have jokes about race-related issues when it comes to like indigenous communities, because like I live in this fucking world where I have the relations, but I don't look it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of jokes that are like very dark.
Yeah.
But the reason that I do that is because I feel like the best way to start a discussion about something is to point out how fucking insane it is.
I agree, and nonetheless, like anybody that's listening, I'm sure there's people out there who struggle with similar things that we've struggled with, and that lots.
I
of
feel
people
like
struggle
anybody
with.
who listens to our podcast wants to kill themselves. So I
sometimes,
totally get it.
sometimes, sometimes doing it, I want to kill myself. But
You will now.
Yeah, but I mean, if you are genuinely going through something, like, please seek the proper help, because, like, life's like this. Like, yeah, like, it's tough to talk about it because it's just fucking sad and tragic.
Yeah.
This guy was so immensely full of potential, and he clearly created art that impacted people, and
Yeah.
he was so fucked up and upset with his life and where he was at in his life, and he obviously didn't go about it in the best way, and he ended up dying. So please, if you're out there and you are going through something, seek help. Because
And with that being said, that's a good transition into our ad sponsor this week, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Now, are you like me and you like to talk about your feelings, but you don't want to go outside of your house to do so? Well, that's where BetterHelp comes in.
BetterHelp, it was horrible.
Yeah, I've heard.
The worst experiences ever. My
They also-
therapist only talked about themselves the whole fucking time, and like it would be an hour session.
Dude, I didn't know I was your therapist.
better
There
help.
was some shit from Georgia, like the state.
Oh, no, and then she fucking sounded awful, too.
Thank God it wasn't Georgia, the country. You're now connecting with Svetlana from Tbilisi.
Every session, she reminded me she went to high school with the fucking guy who created Phineas and Ferb.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That guy's on TikTok.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And every time he shows up, he reminds me of my shitty therapist.
That's depressing. Phineas and Ferb's a good show.
It's also really funny because BetterHelp actually underpays the people that, like, the
There's
therapist.
so much controversy.
There's so much controversy outside of it. They will officially never be a sponsor of the podcast.
No.
Not good.
No.
So go anywhere but
BetterHelp.
BetterHelp. Yeah.
You know what's better help than BetterHelp?
What?
The Nick Drake method.
Oh my God! Do we have to make some edits in this episode? Jesus fuck!
Okay.
The reception of this album.
No, okay, so we're going to go into the reception. Obviously,
Yes.
I'm just making jokes. It's all,
Yes, yes.
The reception of this album,
Jesus Christ!
I don't want to get sued.
You might.
The reception. Fucking hell, this is so off the rails. I love
I
it.
know.
Initially selling less than 5,000 copies
Yep.
in its first release and receiving mixed reviews from critics, over time it changed. Rolling Stone, AllMusic, Pitchfork, and Uncut all gave it perfect scores.
Mm-hmm.
It's been listed on countless top albums of all times list, and has been cited as inspiration for such artists as Kate Bush, The Cure, R.E.M., Beck, and countless more. Album has gone gold in the UK, sold over 300,000 copies in the U.S.
And that was as of 2004. And another weird thing I saw too, that it sold like 200,000 copies in Italy, which is a little strange.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he lived there.
No, he never lived in Italy.
Yeah, he did.
No, he lived in France.
Didn't he live in Italy?
No, he lived in France.
Scroll up here.
He lived in Burma when he was a child.
Did he live in Italy?
No. I wrote the episode. I'm telling you, he didn't
Did
fucking
he live in Italy?
No, he lived in France.
Oh no, fucking Matt Anderson toured Italy.
Yeah.
That was.
Nah. Yeah.
We had two.
You could have just trusted me because, I wrote the episode.
And honestly, like, I'm going to say this. What I think is really impressive is when you write the episodes, you remember literally everything that you wrote.
Yeah.
You're like fucking, what's his name from Suits, who has like the photographic memory where you
Mike?
just,
Yeah.
you look at one document and you're just like, oh, actually, section 34B. It's fucking hilarious because I'm the reader guy. I like your riffs and then I'll fucking play off of that.
Yeah.
But when you write the episode, I'm always just like, I'll get 2 words in, and then I'm just like, all right, Aaron's going to talk about
Aaron's
it.
already said it. Yeah,
He's already
it's
said it.
weird, man. I do have a weird memory for that shit.
No, you have a really good memory for it, and it's actually really impressive. All right, so both of these albums, I would say check out.
Yes.
They've both for very different reasons, but also very similar reasons. They're both singer-songwriters. Excellent production, but low effects or anything.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
it's very stripped down, good music. I mean, Nick Drake, this album's a great fucking winter album.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in the dumps a little bit, it's also a good listen.
It's a good listen, and then I would say like House to House. You want to hear the saddest song that I've heard recently, listen to Other Side of Goodbye. That song made me cry recently.
Nice.
Because one of my friends is
Amazing.
moving across the country
Oh, I didn't know that.
with their partner.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. And then I found out secondhand.
Oh,
And it made me very sad.
that is sad.
And then I heard Other Side of Goodbye, and I was like, it
That is sad.
was bad. It's all good, though. I'm going to fucking give them tickets when I go out
Nice.
on tour there.
Nice.
Speaking of, before we end the episode,
Yes.
I got a lot of dates to plug. Okay, so this week I'm in Okotoks, Cochrane, and Calgary.
Nice.
With Taproom, and then middle of March I'm in Airdrie, also a Taproom gig. That one's with Todd Ness. Early March it's with Lori Gibbs and Lisa Baker, who are both amazing comics. Todd Ness is an amazing comic. The 20th to the 22nd of April I am at the Laugh Shop in Calgary, opening
Nice.
for Mo Mandel, and then I'm going on tour. I will be releasing the dates very soon with like ticket links and everything, but so far what I've got lined up, Drumheller, Red Deer, Invermere, Kelowna, Swift Current, Medicine Hat, Victoria,
Fuck yeah,
Nanaimo, Campbell River, Port Alberni, I think there's Saskatoon in there as well. Fuck ton of places. So if you like the podcast and you want a sticker, because I'm going to order even more before the tour, come on out. I'll give you fucking stickers. I will never charge for them. I hate when comics charge for stickers. I'm willing to eat the bill on that one.
All we ask is just fucking stick it on somewhere where people
Stick
can
it on
see
somewhere
it.
where
Yeah.
people will see it. Stick it
Yeah.
on your water bottle. Stick it on your laptop.
Our fucking new logo is nice. The
new-
other sticker's
yeah.
fucking cool.
The other sticker is good for like small things like your phone or your water bottle. The other sticker, the bigger one, that's good for your laptop
Yeah.
or like back window of your car too.
Yeah.
Fucking great places. Or put either of them in the bathroom of your favorite dive bar.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Actually, that's the best way of doing it. That
Um,
will help us out.
yeah, no. Yeah, in the urinal.
Actually,
It's a-
yeah,
it's
try
a great
and hit
target.
the center
Yeah.
of the fucking record.
It's a great target. No, yeah, that's awesome about your tour, man. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's fucking wicked.
It's
Congratulations.
gonna be fun, and it's my headlining tour too. So
Fuck yeah, dude.
that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna get my hour. Like I have my hour of material, but I'm gonna really refine it in that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'm taking the summer completely off. I'm
Nice.
not. I've been working hard the first like half of the year so that this summer I can do things like enjoy Folk Fest and go mountain biking and go fucking caving. We can have beers in the park.
Fuck yeah.
So it's just going to be the podcast and Tea House this summer, and
Nice.
I'm totally okay with that. I do not want to be busy after a certain point this year because
Good
I've
job, man.
been fucking stupid
That's
busy.
cool. That's awesome. Once again, congratulations on the tour. That's pretty fucking cool.
Heck yeah.
Cheers.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Misfits on Vinyl. Hope you have a good one. Anal contusions.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Misfits on Vinyl, hosted by Spencer Streichert and me, Aaron Walsh, and of course produced by Sam the Tech Man, Sam Lindsay. If you like us, please rate us, subscribe to us, share us. Our socials are Misfits on Vinyl Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to send us an email with any suggestions or criticisms, we love that shit, so send it away. It's misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you.